Welcome to the Curtain Raiser episode of Care Heroes of India Awards 2020. It's a special initiative which is sponsored by Bajaj Allianz and partnered by Times Network. I have with us Mr. Tapan Singhel, who has been instrumental in launching this initiative with us. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. And first of all, congratulations. This is a very interesting initiative, and I'm so happy that we are your partners in this initiative. I would like to start with your tagline actually, caringly yours, and now it is translating into care heroes. So first of all, you tell me the thought process behind caringly yours.
Okay. There are two things. If you look at our country, and I take you back, let's say 10, 20 years back, our country was not as rich by the definition of rich as it is today, but was much more happier than what it is today. And just think about it. We have become richer as a country. Our airports are choco-block, our roads are choco-block, all the fancy cars. But if you look at the happiness quotient, I definitely see a huge fall. If I look at the care quotient, there's a huge fall. Yeah. If I look at the empathy part, there's a huge fall. So I thought that this we can't let go. India has always been known for its care. India has always been known for its empathy. India has always been known for its community feeling. And this is something that we felt can't be done away with. Now if I look at an insurer, what do? We come into play when things go wrong, when you require care, empathy the most. So we thought we'll lead by example as a company. Our products, our services have to be built around care. Our public interactions with our customers, with our own employees, has to have a lot of care. And then we thought, can we look at building initiatives where we try to bring care back to the center? Can we bring empathy back to center? Can we get our country back to where it was? And in this run of the $1 trillion economy they're talking about, we don't miss the humanness that India is known for. I think that is the small endeavor and effort that you make by putting this on.
Right. That's a very interesting and more than interesting, it's a very strong statement that you're making. To be aware and responsible for something like this is actually commendable. But how difficult it is to actually translate it into action, because in a lot of cases what happens is, I think for any insurance company or product, the trust factor is most crucial. And what we have, what I have also personally observed is that when it comes to Bajaj, the trust factor is really high in the mind of a consumer. So how do you manage to cultivate that?
Okay, so there are two questions to it. How do you bring care and the trust part of it? So first, let's look at, as an insurer, the word insurer brings trust deficit a lot of times. Yeah. It's very interesting and funny also. Insurance companies actually are bleeding to death. You would have seen the news that a lot of companies are not able to sustain because the loss rates are so high, which means the insurance companies are paying claims through their nose.
Correct.
The deficit is in the process of paying claims. Because fundamentally, insurance companies have to collect money from many to pay to a few. So the onus of paying to a few is on the insurance company.
Correct.
That they should ensure there's no fraud happening.
Correct.
So this process becomes so cumbersome that the genuine customer starts feeling that no, they don't want to pay claims. I think that is how this whole thing starts of trust deficiency. So on that, what we are doing is we are trying to make a process and system so simple that as a customer, you actually, when you have a claim, within 10 minutes, as a retail customer, you get your money. And now we're demonstrating it, be it in our automobile claims, be it for miscellaneous claim like your mobile phone. We're actually demonstrating our travel claim, which happens at zero time. Right. We are trying to make a system and processes where we eliminate the hassle of trying to get a claim, but use analytics to control fraud. So that would actually improve the trust quotient as an industry, as a company. That's why I think somewhere we rate higher because of our obsession on this part, that the customer should, if something goes wrong, our empathy should be very high, our care should be very high, and the trust obviously develops when you use all this and pay much before customer expects the money to get.
Right.
Now, the second part is about in terms of how do we build care. If you look at insurance companies, as I said, they pay claims, and most of them do good. But it's so funny that if they add a small layer on top of it, it demonstrates huge care. So let me give you a small example. Now, all of us have parents, most of us have parents who are staying away from us.
Correct.
And India has moved from a joint family to a nuclear family kind of structure now because of the opportunities, people moving around, doing jobs. But if I ask a lot of people at my age or younger than me, their biggest fear would be what if something goes wrong with their parents, no? Because they would be, aging. And now we have health covers. So if things go wrong, if my parent reach hospital, then obviously everything triggers in, cashless will happen and all that stuff will happen. But how would they reach there is a small component. Now what we are doing is that we are putting variables with our customers and parental cover, which actually gives signal with a sudden jerk or fall, and we actually have a call center which calls them and asks them that, would you are you okay?
Yeah, right.
And if they say they're fine, so if they don't respond, we set up the entire mechanism of getting ambulances to pick them up, take them to hospital, get them treated, and get them back even before the child can reach there. Now, what I'm going to say is that this is what we're building up. The product is already there. There's nothing new that we have to add. Just a small care component, empathy care. It's just added together.
Right.
And then you become caringly yours. No? So our obsession now is that for all our products, we'll add that small part, to demonstrate care. And we'll bring care to the center of what we do. And that is what, is, if I answer your question.
So, in fact, if I may say so, Care Heroes of India is also a kind of logical extension. This initiative is a logical extension of this underlying philosophy that you have at Bajaj Allianz. And I think a country like India actually needs a few, bright examples of, different, in different areas or aspects of life, care heroes, some social heroes to look up to, because currently what we lack is probably that.
In the quest of materialism, India should not forget its spiritual core.
Yeah.
Its care of care, tolerance, its empathy factor of being that a person who is there for people at their own cost. I don't know if it happens now. When I was younger, if I asked for road directions, today you have Google. Even if somebody is going the other way, they'll stop and guide me to it. Well, that is the country that I belong to. I want to bring the issue of care back to focus. And we have so many care heroes, so many wonderful people who are making this, they are the real heroes. We have to champion that, bring it to the focus again, get this conversation on. As a country, we should not lose what we had in the quest of to get something, which would make us less happier, or how do we combine and balance the two together is something which is very critical.
Correct. Do you have certain, I won't call them categories, but maybe certain areas in mind on which you would want to focus under this initiative of Care Heroes?
All areas that we can think about, Anybody who demonstrates care, who's a living example of care, are the heroes for me. So if it is in work of mental illness now, which is becoming very big in terms of taking care of accident, trauma, or in terms of even anybody who demonstrates any care of the highest value, who demonstrates high empathy, who's giving his life to give care to people, to me is a hero. So I'm not thinking of any commercial terms of a segment, just high element of care, empathy, and this conversation back in our country, which always had it. Just revive that is the objective.
Right. As a business journalist, when I think about this initiative, and more than this, this Caringly Yours, which is the underlying ethos of the way you operate at Bajaj Allianz, an obvious question comes to my mind that currently, the economic environment, especially even from insurance companies' point of view, like you rightly mentioned, many of them are going down or bleeding heavily. In that situation, how does the cost factor plays out for you? Because all these initiatives do require a little more commitment, little more investment, and little more focus than a regular, run-of-the-mill insurance product. So how does it play out for you?
I've said this many times. Good businesses which last for hundreds of years are based on the principle of doing good, in whatever profession or what you are. They're not based on the principle of doing shortcuts for a short period of time. No, and luckily for me, both the promoters, Bajaj and Allianz, have been there over 100 of years, and they've demonstrated that consistently over a period of time. The issue here is, if you look at the investment that we want to do for the country, for our company, in terms of the culture that we want to build or bring care to the focus, it can never go waste, even if I look at pure business terms. If we are able to, like I always say, provide care to people and they have higher trust in the insurance industry, insurance penetration will go up. India's insurance penetration is the lowest.
Correct.
If we get some comfort, it's higher than Pakistan and Bangladesh. No, but even from China is 1/4 the penetration of what we should be at. Now, if that be the case, and if this initiative revives the trust in the insurance industry, it revives penetration and the feel that we require these kind of system. Don't you think we have done something with the industry? And if the industry benefits, the company will benefit. We are a smaller segment of the industry, no?
Correct.
So it has much greater ramifications than a very short view of what can we gain right now, no? I think, as I mentioned, for me, both my promoters have been there for hundreds of years. And I always say that we are in the business of doing good. And on that, we should never hesitate.
You have partially touched upon my next question actually, which was about the penetration of insurance products in India. For a country which is this large, this kind of population, this kind of young population, we see a lot of awareness, especially in the young population, when it comes to many things, be it social media and being online, buying stuff online and things like that. But somewhere that enthusiasm is not really reflecting in the way that same consumer or same young consumer, I would say, behaves when it comes to insurance products. So where is this gap?
So to answer this, there are two parts to it. One is the psychological part of it. So let us take back, you are younger than me, but let me take you back to your much younger days.
Yeah,
The amount of risk you'd be taking then is much higher than what you would take now.
that's true.
Yeah, you think about it, no? And you did a lot of stupid stuff also, which you not talk on camera, but
I still do.
but much less.
Yeah.
And as you get older, that will become zero.
Yeah.
So when you're younger, your brain is not wired to see risks, which is good for us because that's how we left the caves and reached the build up what we see today. Otherwise, it was too wired to see risks. You would not have left the cave and moved on to the cities, this development as you call it. So when your brain is not wired to see risks, then something which provides protection against risk has no relevance for you.
Correct.
That's it. So it's so interesting. If you look at a lot of youngsters, they have wearable devices for tracking their health and their steps, for getting fitter at a very young age, which actually surprises me at times. But they don't have an insurance cover, which actually is more required from a pure perspective. Let me tell you how it is. When I was just joined job, my mother would say, save for rainy day. I think all our mothers would do that, no?
Yeah.
You don't spend, save something would go wrong, no? And then some of us would sincerely save for the rainy day. That means we cut down on all the treks that we want to do or look at, go to holidays, vacations, because we're saving for the rainy day.
Correct.
It's so funny. At one like 100th or 1,000th of that cost, what we're trying to save for the rainy day, we actually buy insurance cover to take care of the rainy day and really have good fun.
Correct.
So it's the way you look at it is very, very critical. That is one part of it. The other is, as I told you, insurance word itself is trust deficient. So you combine the three together. I don't blame the youngsters for not looking at insurance. It's from the industry that we belong. We have to work together to see that the youngsters realize the beauty of insurance. They realize how it frees them up to spend money on things they want to do, because they already have protection. How they realize that insurance companies provide a lot of care and they take care of their customers. How they realize that risk is a reality. People do die, people do get sick at very young age. Now we have a heart attack and death cases at the age of 28. Can you beat that? In my young age, I never thought about it. So these are harsh realities. Risk is there. So though the brain is not wired, can we still understand that this is something which is very essential for us? And I think as we put this together, we'll get there.
Right. One contradiction which I have typically observed, especially when it comes to insurance industry, is in uncertain times, actually, especially the working population should be looking at general insurance category more than what they would do in a normal scenario. But what typically happens is exactly opposite. In a shaky or uncertain scenario, economic scenario, I mean, this category is the first one which starts taking hit in terms of consumer behavior. So one is why this happens, and second is how can this be changed?
Okay, so let me give just one statement. I think will change immediately. Today, most of us who are working have a health cover from our companies. Individually, we're not covered. Yeah. Now, in uncertain times, and if the economy goes for a slowdown, jobs are the first thing which you lose.
Right.
Now, imagine that we lose job and we fall ill.
And you're not covered.
And you're not covered because you don't take it. It's a double whammy. You're already short of resources, and then one illness means whatever saving you had and whatever asset you created is gone. Yeah. So to your point, if I see a slowdown coming, the first thing I do is take a good health cover for me and my family.
Correct.
What can go wrong? Health, which will take a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest may not go wrong to the extent. Second, a burglary can take away my creation of assets. So you'll be surprised to know for 6,000-7,000 rupees a year, you actually get a good health cover.
Right.
For about 3,000-4,000 rupees a year, you actually get a good burglary cover. No.
Right.
Does it really cost too much? No. That's the point I say. It costs so less. And sometimes I tell people jokingly that I'm surprised why people don't queue up to buy insurance. So if you look at it, what kind of protection it provides. So to your point, it should actually happen. But I think people don't look at it very logically as to how to protect themselves. And a lot of times I said we are not wired to think that no, things would go wrong with us. Everybody else may lose the job. If in the entire world there's one job left, it's for me only. Right? That's the way we think. I think that's why it's too late by the time we actually hit that scenario. So as you rightly said, I would strongly recommend that people should look at good personal line of covers for themselves. Right from the early age, it really does space to have that cover.
Right. When it comes to your business also, the whole concern about the slowing down of economy, and we have seen even the consumption taking a hit, and a lot of it is actually directly linked to your business, like let's say a auto insurance or a home insurance or something like that. So from your point of view, do you think the worst is behind us in terms of the way economy is behaving?
It takes time. I think an economy is not a nimble-footed young person who can change directions every second. Economy is a huge ship, on high seas. You just can't, whatever you may do. Yeah. So if things go through a process and you keep on doing the right things, the turning will come. Will it happen today, tomorrow, or day after? Unlike good business analysts, I can't predict that because not 90 to 900% I see them go wrong also. Right. But what we should watch is that are the steps being taken right, which can actually get the economy back, into the traction. If those are right, then it takes 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. But yeah, at least you know that it'll get there. But to expect that things will turn around, like a jiffy, it doesn't happen. I've yet to see economies anywhere. Actually, I do not know. You are a business guy who covers this. I have not seen any place it turns around. So it's going to take its time. So I don't believe that, the next month is going to turn around. I don't believe that.
Right. Coming back to this initiative, and I'm sure a lot of people are watching this show, what would be your message to them who are eagerly waiting for Care Heroes of India awards to come into full bloom and play out? What would be your message to them?
It's simple. Get back the India happiness, get back the India care, get back the India trust, get back the empathy. We were happier with these attributes. A few $1 trillion less would not matter to us. Right. But if we lose this and we get a few $1 trillion more, I do not know. And if you disbelieve what I say, just take yourself back 20 years and think what I say. We were a happier nation, get it back. If somebody has demonstrated amazing care, please nominate. Let's take out these hidden champions. Let's bring care to conversation again. Let's bring it as something which we should live and breathe by, because that is what India was known for and should be known for in times to come.
I hope a lot of people do actually end up nominating themselves, because I'm sure there are so many unsung, unknown heroes who really make this country what it is. Thank you so much, Tapan, for joining us.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, as usual. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
With an aim to recognize and felicitate those selfless individuals who go out of their way to work for the benefit of society at large, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance presents Care Heroes of India Awards 2020, partnered by Times Network. Over the next few weeks, we'll be looking for those tireless individuals and organizations that are improving the lives of others in the categories of education, sanitation, water, pollution, road safety, women's rights and empowerment, girl-child empowerment, slum care, mental health, agriculture, cyber care, and disaster management. So if you or someone you know is a care hero, then please log on to our website www.bajajallianz.com/care heroes to nominate yourself. Let's put the spotlight on these true motivators.